What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. In what started as a really quiet offseason for the Toronto Blue Jays, it's turned into one of the best in franchise history in most recent times. So we want to thank you all for tuning in. The Jays don't seem to be done anytime soon, and on the free agent market, on the trade market. So we're gonna break it. We're gonna break it down today. What we might think is coming next. And once again, just thank you all for tuning in and for your continued support. It's been unreal.
Yeah, it's been great. Um, More moves went down today, even after our video was published. We'll break those down a little bit. Calling in here, Alan. What's up, Calvin? We saw you waiting. Sportsman great. Owen as well. Somerville. Yeah, Merriweather's gone. I guess that's the main thing right now is that Merriweather was I think DFA'd today or released, whatever it was. He's gone and DFA'd.
DFA'd. So he's not gone yet, but someone might claim him because he throws hard and he might be able to provide something, but disappointing for Julian Merriweather.
Yeah, it was a rough return for Donaldson. I don't know why camera keeps glitching out. Rough return for Donaldson. But at the end of the day, I think it was between keeping him and Hatch. And obviously, I'll see a lot of people on Twitter and Discord and stuff like that saying Hatch would have been the better one at DFA. But I think you're going to DFA Merriweather anyway. He's out of options and may as well get it done. And we obviously we got Brandon Belt in return. What's up, Mike? What's up, fellas? I think Biggio has got to go for some help in the pen. A lot of people are saying Biggio on Twitter as well, saying Biggio might go. I think it's a very good possibility. Who knows? We're going to break some of that down in today's stream. We're going to go through some trades, go through a few more targets. There's a couple targets left. Shai Davidi said some things. What's up? Love the content. Hopefully the Jays had an arm and an outfield bat. Shai Davidi may have gave away a hint on Tim and Friends. We did see that. We're going to have a full video breaking that down over the next couple days, but we'll also touch on that. We'll touch on that a bit tonight. Yeah, it looks like an outfielder might. He smiled a little bit when asked the question.
Maybe he knows something. Maybe I'm sure he does. He's pretty well connected within the Toronto Blue Jays organization, and I can't say it enough. I'm just so excited for opening day, and we got some interesting things coming until then for all of you. So stay tuned for all that. And once again, thank you all for the support, the continued support. It's been unreal. And the Jays, they're not done. They are going all in 2023, and it's not a make or break year in 2023 because they still have guys that are controlled beyond this season. But man, I can't remember a team this deep in my lifetime as a Jays fan, at least.
Yeah, it's very deep. I'd say deeper in 2015 as a whole. We have Ron Sam, Anton moving Biggio.
Yeah.
I feel like we were selling low. We would be selling low. Again, it just comes down to how much we could get for him, along with, what room is there for him to play. And obviously, as he's saying, I agree with Calvin. I think Peter, you said that as well. He's probably staying until we get a fourth outfielder, which is definitely true. He's probably you have Merrifield there as well now. But I feel better about the Teoscar trade now. Josh Croak. How you doing, Josh? Yeah, I mean, we felt good about it at the time. We knew it was, a mix of salary dumping, change of culture, 1 year left on his contract. We turned him into Swanson, and we signed Bassett with some of that extra money.
Yeah, I don't know if it all depends because Biggio is kind of lost in the shuffle, but he's another lefty that is an infielder that can play multiple positions, and that's something that the Blue Jays don't necessarily have in the infield besides Espinal. But you already have Merrifield who can kind of shift all over the diamond and in the outfield as well. So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for me to give a definite decision on Cavan Biggio right now. I still think he has a little bit to offer. I do think he is better than the stats that he shows, but he's just got to be maybe more aggressive at the plate, and he's a very good base runner. He fits what the Blue Jays are trying to do in 2023, which is be more athletic and just be more versatile. And I think it all depends how Addison Barger does in spring training. If he makes the 25-man team, then I think that might be it for Cavan Biggio.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think absolutely if he definitely makes it. And maybe they're clearing out space. Maybe they trade him and I don't know what his value is though. Like I think Biggio has more value to us in the bench than he does in a trade. It's very possible. Super Senpai saying Isaac Matson would be a good sneaky pickup. Luckily, if he was the number one person that you want the Jays to sign, Andrew McCutcheon and Alex Reyes. Those are the two we've been hammering. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Colin, are we adding another starter and a lefty reliever? I don't know about a starter. I feel like that dream might be over with at this point. But
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Leaf fans. I do think Biggio's at an all-time low, but I'm not entirely convinced that his value is going to bounce back up. I just think this is the type of player that he is. Can he become a 10 homer player? Can he provide Gold Glove caliber defense anywhere? I don't think so. He's a very good base runner. He's a smart hitter, and I think this is what Kevin Biggio is. He's never gonna pan out to what we thought he was gonna be, but he's still a valuable major leaguer. But it all depends. It all depends on how those other fringe roster guys do. That's how it is.
Cameron's saying Carlos Rodon's to shut y'all down easy. The Yankees fan, Cameron, welcome back. It's possible. The Yankees are looking good. Kutch would just be ideal for me. Andrew Chafin, Colin, we've had I think a couple videos talking about him. He would be ideal. He'd probably be one of the best pickups that we could get bullpen wise. It's just I don't know. We've heard some rumors about obviously Alex Reyes, some sources there. Zach Thompson might be that starter. Colin, legend, how you doing? Yeah, Zach Thompson, horrible year last year, good year in 2021. So it kind of just depends on what side of the pie that you think he really is. And I saw an interesting tweet. I forget who it was by, but it basically said in 2021 he was with a team with great development and he had a great season. And then 2022 he was with the Pirates, I believe, and
Yeah.
poor pitching development, bad season. So maybe that does it.
Matt, shout out to Matt.
Shout out
But
Matt.
yeah, Zach Thompson, he doesn't strike anyone out. He walks a lot of guys. He gives up home runs, but you can never have enough pitching depth, and that's why Thomas Hatch is still on the 40-man roster for the Toronto Blue Jays, because you can never have enough starting pitching, and one injury, and you need to call one of those guys up. So Zach Thompson, he's a good safety net to have in the minor leagues. I don't think he cracks the major league squad. There's still guys ahead of him. I still think Yusei Kikuchi has a chance to fight for that fifth spot, as does Mitch White. Thomas Hatch, I think that ship has sailed, but there are guys ahead of Zach Thompson before they even think of calling him up to fill in. But maybe a spot start every now and then. It's not the worst option to have. That's why they DFA'd a reliever to make space for him.
Yeah, and maybe it probably doesn't, but I know some people have been saying maybe it goes to show that they won't be bringing up Tiedemann to start this year at the very least, or at any time at the start. It's just because there's more depth, right? And he's a starter, so who knows? So you guys think would be the most likely for fifth spot? I think in order it's Kikuchi, Mitch White, and then the minor league guys. I think they give Kikuchi. He has the highest ceiling by far, and maybe if he figures something out, and I also think Mitch White has some solid potential though as well.
Everyone seems to be relying on a Barrios bounce back, but there's no guarantee. Still need one more solid starter. Well, I think last year for Jose Barrios was just an anomaly. Like, that's just I've never seen him pitch that bad, and he's still 28 years old. The guy is so athletic. He's got a repeatable delivery. I think there's no way he has a season that bad again. I just think there's no way, and I think he will bounce back. It's not even my hot take of the season was that he would be top 10 in Cy Young voting, and I truly think he's that kind of pitcher. Is he an ace? No. Is he a guy that's going to strike 15 guys out every start? No. But he is solid, and he doesn't miss starts. He never gets hurt. The guy is just what you want on your team, and he is going to bounce back. And you could guarantee that he'll bounce back because he has 6 years left on his deal.
Yeah, he's one bad year in his whole career, and that was with us last year, which is interesting. You guys old enough to remember the World 92, 93? No, we're not old enough to
No.
be there at least. We've seen some things. I love the streams. Thanks, Greg. I didn't see DFA Mayweather. That sucks. It does, but I mean, it was kind of writing on the wall. Ron saying, any thoughts on why we didn't get Cueto? To choose a non-contending Miami over contending Toronto, I can't imagine the Jays wouldn't have beat 8.5. I don't know. Maybe they probably didn't. Or he chose, Florida rather than, maybe he doesn't care about contending anymore in his career and he just wanted to live in the
Yeah,
Florida
I
life.
don't think so. He's bounced around quite a bit in the major leagues. But what this signifies to me, and I sent Nick a screenshot earlier in the day, I saw this tweet saying, why did Miami get Johnny Cueto? Is there a trade incoming? And we asked the question yesterday on the live stream, would you trade Ricky Tiedemann for Jesus Luzardo straight up? And it was overwhelmingly no. and I was surprised by that because I mentioned this on the stream yesterday. Jesus Luzardo is what we want Ricky Tiedemann to be in a Blue Jays uniform, except we're getting that finished product already. So it was surprising to me, but I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that Miami's looking to trade one of their starters right now? Because all signs are pointing towards that for a position player at least.
Yeah, I think they do. And maybe we get in there. What's up, Maddox? Maybe we get in there and snipe Pablo Lopez. That would make us a true World Series contender. Let's just say I don't like that we DFA Junior Fernandez. I'd rather Junior than Thomas Hatch. Yeah, I also probably rather Junior than Julian, but Julian had options if I recall correctly. So that's probably why they didn't do that. I get mixed up with the two Fernandezes.
Yeah, it's Junior Fernandez. Tough to see him go. I mean, same kind of scenario with the Yankees as well. Like they kind of thought they could sneak him back to the minor leagues, and then he got picked up right away by the Toronto Blue Jays. He's gonna get picked up somewhere else. The guy throws too hard to not get a second chance. But maybe they just didn't see him making that bullpen. There are a lot of options this year. Something that we could not have said last year about the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen.
Agreed. Pablo Lopez for Biggio straight up. I wish. Let's get a like spike. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Daily Jays content every single day, and a lot more streams coming. And we daily content is gonna be great. Make sure you hit the like button. The only reason why I'm not trading teammate for Luzardo is because I didn't realize how little controllers that are had compared to me. I think it's 2 years less, right? So I mean, it depends. I personally
Well,
wouldn't either, but
he he has, yeah, it's 2 years less of control. That's 4 years of control on a lefty starter that throws 97 plus. I mean, this is your window. It's the next 4 years. You got George Springer for 4 years. You got Vladdy for 2 years before he hits free agency if you don't re-sign him. You got Bo Bichette for 3 years. Matt Chapman for 1 year. This is it, man.
eh,
This is it. Alejandro Kirk for 3 years. Danny Jansen for 2 years. If you don't win in the next 4 years, can you really bank on Ricky Tiedemann taking you to the promised land when he's ready, when he's in
I
his
think
prime?
I don't know. It
I
depends on
don't
what you
know.
value team. I think Tiedeman's gonna come up and shine and be just as good as Luzardo. I mean, again, you were in the minority actually with the trade thing. You were it was like 90% said no, and thank you,
Yeah, that's
Tiede.
crazy to me.
I agree
That's
with it
that
though.
that's
I'd rather just
I mean,
take my luck.
maybe we're just not as familiar with Luzardo as we should be, but the guy is all the peripherals are there. He's a stud. He's a stud. And I'm not like trying to ship Ricky Tiedemann off. I'm not trying to run him out of town here, but at the same time we got to be realistic about what the Blue Jays window is and I think it's now. It's time.
I think the Jays should trade for Braxton Garrett and the Marlins. I've heard some things about him actually. Fifth starter, dark horse, Bowden Francis. Yeah, Bowden Francis. I don't know if he'd be a starter. Yeah, I guess it completely depends how everything goes, but he's looking really good. Should be a lot close. No, I think Peter is right. It should be a lot closer. It probably should be. It's just weird, you know. Tiedemann. I'm a big fan of Tiedemann. Our defense is so much better. Bullpen notably better. And I honestly think our offense will also be non-trivially better. We far more able to tolerate weaknesses in the fifth spot. True, and like Peter has been on record saying, you only need four good starters for the playoffs. Though it's a matter of getting there as well. What outfield get makes sense now? That would be happy being a bench guy. I'll ask you, Peter, that question. I don't know because I'm on record saying McCutcheon. Do you have anyone else you'd prefer, or is McCutcheon as well?
There's McCutcheon, there's Adam Duvall as well, and Robbie Grossman is another one. Basically, what you need right now is someone who hits lefties really well, and that's what the Blue Jays don't have in the outfield apart from Springer. I mean, you can't really rely on Kiermaier to hit well against lefties. I don't even know if you could rely on him to hit well against righties.
We'll
Dalton
see. We'll
Varsho
see.
crushes righties, and not so great against lefties. So you want to have another option out there, preferably someone that could play center field, like Adam Duvall, who's still a bit younger than those two guys that we mentioned, and more athletic. Got a great arm out there. Kutch would probably be the ideal ad though, as Calvin is screaming in the chat there.
I
Uh,
agree. I
Andrew
would love
McCutcheon.
Kutch.
Andrew McCutcheon is probably the guy to get. He's a former MVP. Guy knows the way around the MLB, and it's
Facade.
just it's the right move, I think. Hi Facade, how's it going, man?
Hope you're
Thanks
doing
again
well.
for yesterday. Thanks
Unbelievable.
again.
Hope you're doing well. We gave you a little shout out at the start of today's video as well. I think Pop will have a great year. Zach Pop, yeah, I think he's gonna have a good year too. His peripherals are there. Obviously, he's a righty. If only Zach Pop was a lefty. We can dream. Still concerned about the hitting in the bullpen. A lot of swing and miss, like not a lot of swing and miss last season. Bullpen still. Oh, okay, a lot of swing and miss in the offense, and bullpen still shaky. Bullpen, I can see why. You know, the bullpen's not fully there yet. Everyone's saying hello to Facade. I don't know.
Uh,
I think we'll be okay offensive wise. Bullpen, I would like one more addition. I will say that. Whether it's a lefty or righty, whether it's Alex Reyes, whether it's, I mean, Calvin Chafin, sorry, would be the best addition. Calvin, I'm sure, could throw some innings in the bullpen too. But
yeah, for the Blue Jays, I mean, they were top five offense in all of baseball. In all of baseball last year. First of all, before I finish, shout out to Facade. Pops is doing well. That's all we wanted to hear, man. Shout out to you, Facade. That's the most important thing. And and at the same time, hopefully you could catch a lot of Jays games with him this year. But to add on to my point there, I kind of lost my train of thought where I was going. What was I saying, Nick?
I
What was
don't
I saying?
remember. Something about maybe Chafin. That's where I was going.
No, it was definitely not Chafin. Oh no! I know what I was saying. I know what I was saying. All right, the Blue Jays had a top five lineup in all of baseball last year, and I don't know if they got more. They don't have as much firepower as they did, but they're more balanced. So they're not going to be as easy to pitch to this year. Because if you remember last year, if they would face a dominant right-handed starter, it would be sliders low and away, fastballs low and away, and they would get carved up every single time. Try throwing a fastball low and away now to Vladdy when he's got two lefties protecting him. You know, you're not going to do that. You know, if you switch the view of the pitcher right left, then they got to change how they pitch every at bat. You know, so it'll be interesting to see.
Coach Chris, I'm with 10% of MLB teams this offseason. I saw Ben Nicholson tweeted that. Hey man, I hope so too. I plan to do a surprise trip in the fall with my dad to Toronto if his health permits it. Hopefully it does, Facade. That would be that'd be great. I'm sure you'd enjoy it. Get some good seats. Hopefully get a good game. And I think every Jays game will be good this season.
Hey Facade, we gotta buy you around at a Jays game someday. We owe that to you. And I know you're being generous. You're a very generous guy, but we'd love to take you to a Jays game and then just talk about the team that we love. That'd be a dream for us.
I think I like this more balanced lineup better, even with the loss of power. I think so too, Richie. I think it makes more sense. And I think, if you look around most World Series teams, they're not all power. It's I don't know. It's like more balanced, and that's what we are this year. It's Toronto's offense will be better than
I don't
last
know
year.
if they lost power though. I don't know
I
if they
guess it
lost
depends.
power. I mean, you're okay. You lost, let's say 30 home
That's true.
runs
Yeah, with
in
Lourdes, you had
You
home.
lost 30. You lost 30 last year. 30 home runs between Lourdes and Teoscar Hernandez. You're bringing in Brandon Belt, who hit 29 in 2021, and Dalton Varsho, who hit 27 last year, and they're both lefties. So how much power did you really lose? Maybe you lost like an all-around superstar hitter in Teoscar Hernandez, but you got better in the outfield. You got faster, uh, and you got more diverse. Isn't this what we wanted?
Yeah,
Come
unless
on, man.
Lourdes has a bounce back power year, which could happen.
He might.
But you kind of rely on the clowns are gone. You rely on Vershow. I'm a Sabres fan. Do you think Espinal gets traded? No, I think Biggio is more likely to get traded. Team is so much deeper. Do you think it'd be harder to expand because they come from rich families or their fathers like in their advice? No, I don't think that'll play into it very much. I mean, I think they'll be harder to
Might be
extend
easier.
because of the market, but I don't think that would be the reason. Red Sox need a second baseman. Trade Espinal for Sale. That would be interesting. Sale's really injured though.
Big contract too. Big contract.
Varsho.
Varsho has short legs. Yeah, he's built like a refrigerator. The guy's huge. Looks like Mike Trout.
Seems the so-called MLB experts, the Yankees first half instead of second half, when putting them as big at least first. Judge will not carry the offense this year. Your thoughts? I think again, Peter's on record saying he thinks the Yankees win the AL East. I think the Jays win the AL East, but you can make an argument
Yeah,
either way.
I think they win the AL East, but Judge is not going to hit 62 home runs again.
Yeah, definitely not.
So
Well,
I doubt
maybe
it.
more words.
I
Yeah, I
don't
doubt
think
it.
so.
No.
If he does, then I'll be the first one to admit I was wrong. But I don't know if their lineup got any better. But their pitching definitely did when you had a Cy Young contender like Carlos Rodon.
Doubles and triples making a comeback. This team has better base running, much better base running. I grew up in Europe. I had to pick any team for any sport. That's actually good. I'm glad you picked the Jays. Hey guys, I thought left field is going to be shorter fence home run for more righties. I don't know which side is a shorter fence. I
I
believe
think
there
it's
is
right
one.
field.
Right
I
field.
think it's right field. Yeah.
Barrios bounces back. You got the best rotation in the AL East. You can make an argument for sure. Yankees' rotation is really good. It depends how Bassett and Barrios do, though, because you know we're going to get at Manoah and Gosman, which is a lot. Let's get a like spike. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the daily content. We've been pumping it out a lot. And shout out to Facade again.
New Brunswick, Canada guy here. Red Sox need a shortstop too now that Story has elbow surgery. Yeah, Trevor Story's going to be out for 4 to 6 months at least.
Disaster contract.
So they do need a shortstop, especially now that Xander Bogaerts is gone. And a good point that that Cyclone Burns is making there. The Toronto Blue Jays actually acquired Santiago Espinal from the Red Sox in that Steve Pearce trade, which, if you look at it now, was a win-win for both teams. Because Steve Pearce won them a World Series with his heroics, and Santiago Espinal flourished into an all-star last year, although let's see, it remains to be seen what he does this year, but I doubt that they give Espinal back to the Red Sox for anything less than a pretty good prospect package.
My dad and I would go bird watching. I got to see so many birds. I just love the Blue Jays. That's how we both got to love the Jays. That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Gosman's stats are going to look better without the shift. Much better, hopefully. As long as he continues to pitch great. It is going to look a lot different. We're excited to actually see it in person. I think Nelson Cruz does not have the year he had last year. Yeah, or Nestor Cortez. Sorry, I don't know why I read Nelson Cruz. Yeah, oh my goodness, I keep doing that. I also expect some Nestor Cortez fall off a little bit. Maybe like a 3.5 year. I feel like it's more like it. But I don't know. Shout out to Nestor. It's funny watching him pitch. He's a great pitcher.
Hassan Mughal here says Red Sox will sign Jose Iglesias or Elvis Andrus. That's I've heard some rumors about Elvis Andrus, and that honestly makes me super excited as a Jays fan because I don't fear Elvis Andrus anymore. You know, he's not with the Texas Rangers, so yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore. I like I said, Red Sox are by far the worst team in the division now.
Yeah, Orioles.
And they just got worse today. They just got worse today.
Orioles on the come up. Besides the Blue Jays here in New Brunswick all summer, around 20 even feet from my hand. We get a little bit of Blue Jays in Newfoundland, a little bit. We'll get the occasional one in my backyard.
Got a lot of Orioles here in Montreal. There's a lot of Orioles and Cardinals flying around. Need to see some Blue Jays though.
It's so kind of you, Paul Luffy. Man, I have some tweets I want to show you guys as well, which I'll do in a second here. A lot of interesting stuff posted by people today, and Ross Atkins also spoke out a little bit, which we might also have a video for. So much content around the Jays recently, but the Cueto thing. Would you guys have rather? I'm gonna ask you, Peter, as well. Would you have rather signed Cueto or Brandon Belt? Because around the same money. Would you rather Cueto or Belt? I'm actually gonna do a poll for this.
I'd go Brandon Belt. Cueto's never done anything in the playoffs, and Brandon Belt's a 2-time World Series winner. I still think they needed another bat, and I think now their lineup's good. If they go get, like someone said in the comments there, if they get a fourth outfielder that mashes against lefties, that's just a luxury that they have now. The Jays have one of the deepest teams in all of Major League Baseball. So yeah, I would have went for Belt. And like you said, there's a lot of internal options that could win that fifth spot, and maybe Ricky Tiedemann makes a push mid-season. Maybe the Toronto Blue Jays trade for someone in.
I think Peter just crashed, but I'm here. I'm still here. We're good. Yeah, Belt's winning. Hopefully Peter will be back in a second. We'll go solo for the time being, I guess. Zoom out a little bit. How we all doing? Peter crashed, but we'll get him back. Tiedemann needs another full year in the minors. Don't rush him. Yeah, there's definitely an argument to be made for that as well. Espinal was acquired for Pierce. Realistically, I think the Jays signed Kutch. I think Kutch would be definitely ideal. I think Peter is back, though he's having some internet troubles. Tiedemann needs another full year in the minors. Facade saying Belt. 85% of you guys are saying Brandon Belt. His experience is priceless. Facade, I completely agree. I think the experience is the big thing with Belt. You got this, Nick. I do got it. We're good. I have faith. I have faith. Move this mic down so I can see. I could see Mike Soraka coming home in Toronto. That'd be cool. You guys doing after game reactions to the season starts? Yeah, we're still gonna be doing daily videos when the season starts. We're doing post game live streams. We'll be doing live watch alongs as well. Tons of that stuff. And I guess while I'm here solo, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, all that good stuff, or like the stream. I guess we're rocking solo for a little bit until Peter texts them, see what's in the go. Tiedemann is a left-handed Manoa. It's a good point. How important is a fast start to this season? Please, Mike Wilner. It's early. Response. I think he's pretty important. I think it's always important, but baseball's a really long year. Though I do see a lot of the Mike Wilner early stuff, which is funny. Peter, you good? All right, we'll go back to Peter's back. We'll go back to the duo look. We'll go back. We have Nathan Leaks on the roster. Who should we sign to replace him as the fourth outfielder? Just subscribe, Jay. Thank you so much, and thank you. It means a lot. Just sorting everything out for Peter here. We just subscribed. Okay, hold on. Just fixing. I don't know. You were mid-conversation. We have Luke's on the roster. Who should we sign as a fourth outfielder to replace him? Again, they probably start with Luke's. We're going to go to duo here now. Oh, you're a bit uncentered. That's okay. All right, we're back. Saved. Good thing. Cool. I thought the stream crashed. We're good. Well, the Angels had a fast start, and they dropped real fast, too, last year. That is very true, Facade. Very, very, very true. It's all about being consistent. Baseball it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's really long. MLB Baseball, also subscribe. Thank you for the subscription.
Shout out to you, MLB Baseball. Shout out.
Jay.
Nice profile picture, too.
Buddy. You guys ever played out of the park baseball? I used to. I'm MLB The Show guy.
Yeah, me too. MLB The Show.
Kutch. Calvin loves him. Jason gets Zach Britton and Alex Reyes. That would be nice. Though I don't think we get two bullpen arms at this point. I feel like, unless they, I guess, option Pop, but I feel like you give Pop the chance. Especially because Zach Britton has been riddled with injuries. A fifth starter is needed, but he needs to be on a one-year deal so he doesn't block Tiedemann. Yeah, Cueto would have been nice. I'll end the poll now. 83% said Brandon Belt, which is good. I agree. I definitely agree with that. 59 votes, 83% for Brandon Belt. Yeah, I think Belt would be better. If they sign McCutchen now as a lefty masher, I'll be good with everything. Me too. Maybe one more reliever. But even if we just get Cutchen, I'd be happy for sure.
Jays need to extend Chapman before the season starts. I don't know. I don't know if he wants to do that. Maybe he wants to
contract year.
Maybe he wants to prove it. Contract year. I'm expecting big things out of Matt Chapman this season.
I plan on going to a Jays game here in LA. I would love to do that. A Dodgers or Angels game. I guess Angels probably. I get to see Trout, Ohtani, Vladdy. That would be insane, Facade. I don't know why camera. Let's see if I can camouflage with the Dodgers. Okay, there you go.
Owen here said, I don't understand why people say we lost offense from Lourdes and Teoscar. Varsho could progress to hit as good as Teoscar. Same with Kiermaier, could hit as good as Lourdes in 22.
Possible.
Nick, really. shout out the super chat there before I
thank you so much for the super chat and the support. Do you think Brian Reynolds' ship has sailed? Saw a few comments about him here. I just don't think we have the pieces to trade for him. I think it would require Tiedemann and Martinez and all those guys. So I think the ship has sailed. Yeah, I think it, especially with obviously getting Varsho. So unfortunately, I think the ship has sailed. Though I like Varsho more in a nutshell, anyways. The trade at least, because it would have cost us a lot. So yeah, I think the ship has sailed. But I'm very happy that we got Varsho. And thanks again for the super chat. I'll throw up the
Thanks, Matthew. And to get to your question, Owen, look, Teoscar Hernandez is a legitimate superstar level hitter. Like, no one's denying that. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is a 275 hitter at his absolute worst. Kevin Kiermaier will never hit 275 in a Blue Jays uniform. So they did lose some offense. They did, but they got better as an overall team. Their problem wasn't hitting the ball. Their problem was getting outs on the mound. Their problem was their defense late in games. That was their problem. So, yes, they might have lost a little bit of offense. like with overall contact, with maybe a little bit of power going out the door. But they are a much better team right now, and I think they did lose a little bit of offense, but they'll still be top 10 this year.
Do we know what Dalton will wear? Varsho will wear 25 next year. Facade, he'll be wearing number 25, which makes me want to get a jersey and put it up behind me. Might have to be done. What's up, Brandon? Expect to improve offense from Guerrero. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Vladdy, Biggio, Springer. Springer is also possible as well because he's moving to right field. Full year Merrifield. Belt will benefit from the shift ban. Again, though, the thing with the shift ban is I should make this more clear when I talk about it. Everyone's going to benefit, or most people are going to benefit from the shift ban.
Well, pull hitters.
Pull hitters.
Pull hitters are going to benefit.
So, it's not just a Jays thing.
But they did lose offense. They did. Like, we're not going to deny it. Teoscar Hernandez is a great hitter, and so is Lourdes Gurriel. But that's not what the Blue Jays needed. They needed what they have now, and they're just an overall better team.
I agree.
It's possible that the offense improves. They're more balanced. They have power, but who knows?
So that's an awesome time to get the new jersey. I'm also going to be looking to get the I don't know what color yet. Probably a white one or maybe a blue one. I'll see how it looks, but I'm going to get one of the jerseys and put behind me a Varsho one. See, he is our center fielder of the future. It's going to go right there. Go somewhere where you can see it at least. Maybe it honestly probably replace the shirt. It'll probably replace the shirt.
Calvin here with a good question. Who are you guys thinking for the top 3 extension targets? Want to see if they align with mine now. In order, for me, probably Vladdy, just because he's going to hit free agency sooner. Then Alek Manoah, then Bo Bichette, if those are the 3 that you're talking about there.
I would go, yeah. I think also, I'd like to put Chapman in there just because I think he will help us compete, but who knows? That's a bit of a weirder. Regarding our core, I guess those 3. And that I would do the same order. Vladdy, Manoah, because Manoah has more control, and I feel like it's less of a. I feel like he's going to stay at Toronto for his career. How you doing, Will?
So.
Light blue facade. I might have to go. I don't know what color. I'm gonna have to do some thinking and see what works best with my background there.
The light blue would look good.
Yeah,
I think that'll go well with what you got going on over there.
I think I will. I'll get a light blue one. I don't know when they come out, how expensive they'll be. We'll have to see. Vlad Manoah, Chapman for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought we were talking about the core, but yeah, I'd extend Chapman before I extend Bo Bichette, at least for like a short term like bridge deal. But I don't know if Matt.
Would you do Chapman 5 years, $120 million if we offered them right now?
I wouldn't. I'd go 100, not 120.
Yeah, I think
he's hurt. He's had a lot of injuries in the past. Now he didn't miss many games last season, but I don't think he'll get 25 million on the open market. I doubt it.
Depends what the market's crazy right now. The market is definitely yeah. So he played 100. He plays over 150 games back-to-back years though.
No, he didn't miss games last year, but we can agree that he's not the same Matt Chapman as in 2018, 2019.
That's true. Yeah. We'll see how he performs.
I don't know if he'll ever get back to that form. Like the guy's hips are shot, but he's still an elite defender and still got some power in that bat, but he's not the same Matt Chapman as when he was 26, 27 years old.
Facade, sorry for any typos on the phone right now. No worries, Facade. Glad you're in here. Glad you're able to chat with us. 6140. That might be better. Don't forget, guys, ship is gone. Chapman will be replaced by Barger, it appears, at this point. That's another thing. I think they bring up Barger this year for some at-bats, just to see how he does, and then maybe that'll set the tone for him.
Okay, I'll address Owen's concerns here yet again. Lourdes Gurriel, I mean, the guy puts the ball in play, and he's a contact hitter, and he had an almost 800 OPS the year before that. He just lost a little bit of power and dealt with some injuries. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to regain some of that power and hit close to 300 in Arizona. And as for Varsho, I mean, yeah, he hit great in the 5 spot, but in 28 games. So I don't know. I think he'll have a breakout offensive season in the AL East, hitting behind and hitting ahead of those very good hitters in the Blue Jays lineup. But to say that the Jays didn't lose Like lineup power is. I don't know if I agree with that.
Depends. Also, though, Kiermaier was dealing with injuries too, and he says he's 100% healthy. But I don't think he's the hitter. He's not the hitter that Lourdes is. So that's kind of thing.
No.
Machado will want 35 million a year. Yeah, and he'll get it.
Yeah.
He'll get it. I wonder what it'll be curious. I'll be curious to see what Chapman gets at this market. Sorry if my camera glitches. I don't know why that's happening. I'll have to fix that. Jay should sign Robbie Grossman. Not the best last season, but he crushed lefty slashing 320. Grossman's another one we didn't mention, but he would be great. I'm just so stuck on the Andrew McCutchen train. I'm riding that train all the way until he gets either signed by us or signed someone else.
It's a good point by Garish over there. Defensive player with some adequate offense, ages better because defense doesn't go in a slump. Yeah, but you lose some range as well. You lose some arm strength. But I do agree that Matt Chapman could be very good to until like his mid 30s.
I
But
think he will be.
he's never going to be the same hitter that he used to be in Oakland, and that's my only concern when giving him a contract upwards of 125 million when you have Addison Barger, who is a 23-year-old who's going to be a stud in the major leagues. I think so. It's tough.
It is
It's
tough.
tough
I
for
think
me.
there's a chance that he can get back to similar to himself. He only had, he had like an 840 OPS, I think, or something like that in Oakland. So maybe his contract year he mashes, but I think in general it'll be tough. I don't think we extend him. Again, I honestly think it depends how Addison Barger does this year because they're gonna give him at
Yeah.
bats. If he does great and he shows a lot of promise, then use that money on another pitcher or something like that. Mets will sign Machado next offseason. Would not surprise me at all. Well said, Peter. Thank you.
Adrian Beltre is a prime example. Yeah, Adrian Beltre is, man, the guy's one of the best third basemen I've ever seen. So yeah, um, that is a good example. That is a good example. But he's always been a phenomenal hitter as well, with not many strikeouts in his game. So different players can't really compare the two.
I think you could be right. He lives spring behind him. With Belt having a chronic knee issue, I doubt he gets the pop back and will not play anything but first base. Does Vladdy still play 130 games at first? I think he plays like 110, 120. I think Belt still has some pop left in him. I think he still does.
Doing good, Bryce. How you doing, man?
We need to move Biggio too. Look at Berger. I don't think Biggio's gonna be blocking Berger. I think Biggio is. I think he's gonna get traded. I really do. Or if he doesn't get traded, he's not gonna play very much.
Hmm.
But again, maybe they keep him for injury protection. We just have so many players. So many players. I do think Kiermaier has a better year, especially a better year than last year. I think he has a bit of a bounce
Yeah,
back.
well, hopefully he can stay healthy. That's the big thing.
Defense is going to
You
be
know what he's
crazy.
going to provide defensively. You know what he's going to do out there in center field, but it just remains to be seen with his hitting there. Not
Belt's,
quite sure.
Belt's numbers at Rogers Center are pretty good. They are pretty good. Belt is just such a good addition. I can't express that enough. We kind of touched on it in today's video and yesterday live stream. Pretty good signing of Belt from you guys. Wasn't even looking at him at all. I saw his name a little bit at the start of the offseason, but like, it goes to show, like, that signing, no one even spoke about that in recent weeks, at least, and it just happened. Only 13 bench spots is a matter of spaces, not Biggio particularly blocking Berger. Yeah, I mean, who would you trade for Biggio? I don't know what his value is. Like a middle reliever is probably his value, unfortunately, at this point. Good Dylan.
I don't know. I don't know what his value is either. It's weird. Like nothing that he's done in the past couple of years like can indicate that he'll be valuable to a contender. So I don't know. It all depends. It depends how he does in the spring. He might not even get playing time.
Yeah, it's good. Biggio
Hard
can
to
get hot
say.
for a couple weeks in July. Maybe we can get a solid reliever. That would be funny. Just play him for a couple weeks, get his trade value up. It would be great. Kevin,
He was hot.
he
He
was.
was hot for a certain point this past season. And I remember that game against the Angels where he hit that go-ahead double late in the game, and the guy, he had some stretches, and he's had some good flashes in the major leagues, but just not enough. He can't put it together enough to be a regular player. So maybe he plays every now and then, but if the Jays do get a fourth outfielder, it's hard for me to see him get any playing time.
So what's going on with you, your fifth starter? Are you guys on a trade for someone? Because this trade market has not even woke up yet. It's kind of annoying that trades really haven't happened. Um, I mean, there's not really. I think if we were gonna trade for a starter, it's probably like a Maryland starter. I don't think it trades. I don't think we're gonna trade for a starter though. I think we either sign one, which I also don't think is gonna happen. I think we just ride with what we have. That's the most likely scenario.
Nate Pearson, keep or trade? Keep.
Yeah, his value's
Keep
too
him.
low to trade.
Yeah, he's got no value
No,
right now.
very little. Put him in a with a prospector package off for a reliever. It does right by Kevin too. Yeah, and that's another thing. Maybe Kevin wants more playing time, which would make a lot of sense. Maybe he says, "Get me, shit me out." Smoke was
Yeah,
awesome.
similar. I think the one example I could give is like the Rowdy Tellez situation where there was kind of a logjam and he wasn't going to play over Vladdy, and Jays needed to DH a lot of other guys, so they shipped him off to Milwaukee for
Trevor Richards.
Trevor
Yeah.
Richards. So that's probably what Biggio's value is right now in that ballpark over there.
Say Kiermaier pops off and throws up a career year. Do you think we should let him walk or pay his free agency price? How high would you think it would be? No, I don't think. I think it's a 1 year. I think it's a 1 year thing for Kiermaier, but maybe, maybe. But I think they want Varsho to be in center field for the future, so I doubt it. I doubt it.
I kind of want to ask you guys a question over here. If the Blue Jays were to get let's say a guy equal value to Trevor Richards in exchange for Kevin Biggio, would you trade or would you keep Kevin Biggio? That's my question to all of you.
It's a great question. Kind of like the Tellez trade all over again, but with Biggio. And Tellez, he's a power hitter, but that's the thing. He doesn't do much else at all besides that.
Like, does having Kevin Biggio on the team or another Trevor Richards on the team, what makes the team better?
And I guess you
I
should
think
clarify
Kevin Biggio.
a Trevor Richards like at the
It's
time of
type. It's
the time
type.
of the trade was more like 3.5 ERA, pretty decent reliever. But now he's kind of had a pretty poor year. So a middle reliever really is what a middle reliever would you
But
rather have Biggio?
they don't need another middle reliever. There's so many that are just waiting in the wings. So
Yep.
I would keep Kevin for the depth because
Keep.
he's
Agreed.
more I don't know. He's more valuable on the bench than someone of similar value
We have Zualeta
to
coming up
Trevor
too. Keep
Richards.
Biggio. I want to see Berger. Yeah, I think they'll.
Me too.
I think they'll put
Me
Berger.
too. Yeah.
Richards was great when he came over. He was great when he came over. Biggio from May 27th to September 5th. 62 games, 356 OPS or 356 on base percentage, 811 OPS. Yeah, he did have a pretty good end of the year. It's just again the question is, where does he have time to play? Unless Merrifield gets hurt and Espinal, or maybe Biggio beats Espinal for the job. Who knows?
Yeah, well now he can't even play first base because Brandon Belt is
And
there.
that's the
So
thing.
that was his meal ticket early on in his Jays career, where he would replace Vladdy at first base if Vladdy needed to DH. He would play some right field when Teoscar Hernandez would get the day off. He'd play left field when Lourdes would get the day off. But now you have Whit Merrifield. So where does he slot in? Does he get one start a week at second base? Like that's what it's looking like right
Yeah,
now. And I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with him.
yeah, no, or keep him enough with Richards in our bullpen. I think we have a lot of internal guys waiting in the wings to come up. So I feel like Biggio. I feel like they'd rather try these new people like Berger, people like that instead of Biggio at this point. Plus, is Biggio a plus defender anywhere besides second base? Maybe. So
He's serviceable and his a lot of his value comes from his
yeah,
versatility, where he's just a utility guy. But this is a great problem to have, and I think that's what we're all failing to realize. Like, if we're before the season started last year, we were all arguing how much playing time is Bradley Zimmer going to get, and Raimel Tapia and Gosuke Kato, who's
yeah.
not even a major leaguer anymore. That's who we were arguing about early on last season. Now we're arguing about Santiago Espinal versus Kevin Biggio versus Brandon Belt versus Danny Jansen. This is a great problem to have. Depth is just flowing for the Toronto Blue Jays, and it's awesome. I love to see it.
It's great. Biggio to the Astros. His dad played there. Makes too much sense. Biggio was also an elite base runner late in games, but agreed he's tradable. That is another thing. He's a great pinch runner, but again, we have so much speed now. But I guess, you know, he'd be a pretty good pinch runner. I guess would be a late inning replacement because he can play anywhere. It gives us flexibility for if you want to pinch hit for Kirk or someone like that. Like pinch hit Belt for Kirk, put Biggio in anywhere.
Unless you get someone in return for Kevin Biggio that makes your team a lot better, then you keep him.
Chapman signs to be more inclined to keep Biggio. If we don't take a look at internal third basemen, they get cut out their pants in the offseason, then I'm gonna be mad. I think I have too much faith in Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro. Now they've impressed me this offseason. They really,
Let him cook.
really have.
Let him cook, baby. Let him cook.
They have cooked up heavy. Let's get a like
Cooked
spike.
up a storm. They've cooked up a storm.
Daily content
Otto
streams.
Lopez, keeper trade from Cyclone Burns. I mean, I guess you keep him for AAA depth, but there's no way he makes the opening day roster.
And he played so well last year too.
Well,
late, very limited. I remember those games. He was getting like 4 hits. The day with the doubleheader, I think. He finished.
Yeah, he was hitting 800. He had 800.
He finished the season
big league career.
8 games, 9 at bats. He hit 667. So like, at what point do we? How you doing, Jordan? Hope you're doing well.
What's up, Jordan?
At what point do we? We have so many prospects now in the wings. So many. Keep Biggio until Oakland has someone for us. Just keep recycling our players to Oakland. It's funny. Almost just fell over. Biggio plus Simber / Richards plus prospect for high velocity reliever. It's interesting. Biggio will fetch more than he provided us last year. Hey Nick, did you hear about the newbie that won the bronze medal at the Olympics last winter?
Didn't he ask you that?
Yeah, I think you asked me that last time.
Didn't someone ask you that?
Or maybe it wasn't Jordan. Maybe it was someone else.
No, I think it was some. I think it might have been someone else. But yeah.
Yes, I think. We're talking about Brad Guju. I know someone in the chat said Brad Guju, but I think I heard about it. I didn't remember the name though. That would be funny. That do you think we should target a player in free agency like Jung-Hoo Lee plays in Koreans looking to join the MLB? Should we target him to replace Kiermaier? I think it completely depends.
I don't know.
I don't know much about him. I think I heard about him on Twitter. I think he's posted next year. I'll have to do some more searching into that. But that's a good question regarding who was going to replace Kiermaier. Maybe we re-sign Kiermaier. I think it all just depends.
This is a good one here. Ilya, no need to trade Biggio. He can be our Ben Zobrist. Still has potential to be our 2-bag because he's a lefty bat. Yes. There's potential there. And that's why they're holding on to him. That is why they're holding on to him. He's a lefty that can play everywhere. Those don't grow on trees. But can he take that leap? Can he take that leap?
Matthew said Brett Kuchu. Yeah, no, I think he's going crazy. You got to keep Simmer for your low-level mid-tier reliever, like a 5-6 inning when the starter gets knocked out. Have Phelps have him in the Phelps cleanup role. Yeah, because Phelps is gone in theory. He's still in the free agency. He had a great year last year too. 60 games, 50 games, whatever it was, 2-point-something ERA. Jordan with the jokes. He won the gold medal, but had bronze. Do you think? Yeah, no. I don't know what we're gonna do with Kevin Kiermaier after this year. Shift's gone. Let's go get Jay Bruce.
I remember when the Jays were linked to him
for years.
A couple years ago. He was a top dog in free agency.
He was absolutely a. We were linked to him for so long. It was a crazy time of the year.
And they never got him.
Nope. I'll ask you guys this. I'm gonna pop this trade up here now. I'm gonna go to the desktop view. And I want to know what you guys' thoughts are. And we'll put it in the trade simulator as well. We're going to switch to the desktop view here. Peter, you might have to look at the chat. I'll get mine up on my phone as well.
Yeah, I got you.
But
who has a better season, Gallo or Bellinger? I think Bellinger. He's going to play every day in Chicago.
All right, so let's move to this and we'll see. My camera, I don't know what keeps happening. Let's go to the desktop view. Do you guys do this trade? And before we get into the trade, Jay's Digest on Twitter, if you guys want to follow us, Jay's Digest YT. Jay's Digest YT. That's our Twitter right here. Jay's Digest YT. And if you want to follow us, we tweet all the time. But back to the point. This trade here, do you guys do this? Yes or no? We can get a yes or no in the chat. Peter, I'll also ask you. This is for Pablo Lopez and I guess Jorge Soler for Biggio, Mako, Martinez, and Simber. Is that Jorge Soler? I believe it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys do that deal? Let us know. It's a very interesting trade, and I'll put it in the trade machine as well.
Yes, I do. So
we're giving up Elvis Martinez, Kevin Biggio, Adam Mako, Simber, yes, in that trade for sure. I ain't gonna lie, Marlins win with that trade.
Long term, maybe.
What does YT stand for? YouTube. YouTube. Get it done, yes. Get it done. Facade saying yes. Do you think we should have targeted him as an issue? Do you trust?
I don't know if that's enough to get Pablo Lopez though.
It's a good question. Yes, I would do that trade. Absolutely. Marlins don't. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I'll get a few more yes or no's in the chat, and then we're going to put it in the trade machine and see what you guys have to say about it. No, oh yes. All right, let's put it in the trade machine. Very, very curious now.
Yeah, I would definitely do that, but there's no way. I don't know if the Marlins.
All right, let's
I don't
look
know
at
if the
this.
Marlins
Let's look at
go
the
for that.
simulator. 2-team trade. Might need to adjust it. If you want to read the chat,
Yeah,
while I do this.
you gotta
Move it
you
over.
gotta move it over a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I will. I will in a moment.
Other.
Do the trade
Yeah.
up. I think I need to do the actual
Yeah.
thing. Just keep an eye on the chat in the meantime.
Okay. Yeah. You're taking a real risk with Soler. I mean, I don't think it's a risk. It's more of a throw-in that you're getting in a Pablo Lopez deal. And I think you can afford to trade Simber because you have so many options in the minor leagues. You have Nate Pearson that's ready to come up. You have Yasver Zulueta who throws absolute gas. He's ready to make an impact. Aurelvis Martinez has become expendable in these past couple of years. His value has absolutely tanked. He's still only 20 years old. But man, the guy just looks disinterested in the minor leagues, and
he had one bad year.
And
You're too hard on him.
I might be, but I think there are better options. And Tucker Toman is someone that I'm really high on, who I think is going to be a really good player, switch hitter. I'm excited to see what he can do, and he's a third baseman, just like Aurelvis Martinez.
Okay, you can. I'm not gonna. I know I should be moving this, but it's a bit glitchy right now. But you guys can see it nonetheless. So okay, so it has the Jays winning the trade, but mainly because, or sorry, it has the Marlins winning the trade, but mainly because Soler's negative 20.9 trade value.
Try to validate the trade, see if it goes through.
We'll do that now. Although one side of this trade is given a little too much, there is still a high probability it would be accepted if each team's needs are met as a minor overpay by the Jays. Now again, so it depends. Maybe the Marlins do this to shed. I mean, salary is the biggest thing here with Soler. I don't know what his contract is off the top of my head. You'd have to search that up, Peter.
I'm sure it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
And Jordan over here is saying Aurelvis Martinez is going to be the third baseman when Chapman walks. No, he's not. It's going to be Addison Barger. And Aurelvis Martinez was the number 2 ranked prospect for the Toronto Blue Jays, and he's been overtaken by Barger. Barger is now the number 3 ranked prospect for the Blue Jays, and Aurelvis has slid down to number 7, I believe. So
again, though, this is speculative. It depends. We don't know if Barger does bad, then.
But I just don't see a world.
Peter really doesn't like Aurelvis in the chat. If you can't tell.
Okay, whoa! I didn't say I didn't like him.
You're low on him. You're very low on him. A lot of people pointed out in the comments from a while ago, because he got promoted pretty quickly, right? And he had a pretty bad year. But I agree. I would much rather.
Double A is the hardest level. But he hit 30. He hit 30 home runs last year, but he barely hit 200. He didn't get on base at all. His defense isn't good. Like there's not much to be excited about. And he was, if you take away the home runs, he was like below league average, like his advanced metrics. And I don't really look too much into that, but I think Barger's further along, and you can't necessarily bank on Aurelvis Martinez to take over for Matt Chapman. I think that's ridiculous. But I could see a world where he does take a step this year and he becomes a better player. But Barger is by far and away the guy who's going to take over for Chapman if they don't re-sign him.
3 years, $36 million contract. He's going to be making $15 million next year. $15 million next year. So, I mean, again, whether you do the trade, a lot of it has to do, maybe the Marlins try to shed some salary cap. And if that's the case, it's a pretty even trade. I'm going to look at what the Twitter people said about this. I really like Mako Zulu instead. I'd rather keep Zulu. Though Mako's looking really solid as well.
Who
Someone at
said that? Did someone say that in the chat, or
No, it
was
was
that like
just
a
on it was
reply?
a reply to the
It was
tweet.
a
Someone else
reply.
asked on Twitter, Chapman extension. Would anyone trade Chapman for Berger plus Bassett? 20 million opportunity. Okay, so I guess you're saying, would you rather Chapman for the next 4 years or Berger plus Chris Bassett? Which is interesting because I guess I would probably rather keep Chapman. If you have any questions, you can, and we're not live, you can hit us up on Twitter as well. We answer DMs there. All the DMs we get, we answer. We answer tweets. J's.syt. But yeah, the Cueto deal as well. I know tons of people in the Discord were talking about Cueto, wanting Cueto. We touched on it briefly. I would not. We got hosed in the Donaldson deal, but it's all history now. Yeah, we waited too long to trade him. I mean, for what we got, yeah. We waited too long to trade him, though. Scott, guys, love the content. Keep it up. The team is shaping up. A nice couple more power arms out of the pen. We're looking forward to October. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, the team's looking great. Team's looking really
Thank you.
solid.
Appreciate it, Scott.
Reused money will be going to Chapman. That's an interesting point.
That's possible. It's definitely possible.
Hopefully, Ryu, we don't really talk about him. Maybe he bounces. He's probably gonna be like a bullpen long reliever, but maybe he has a few spot starts depending on injuries. And I don't know. The fifth starter spot is the biggest question going into the season, especially if we don't address it. Let's get gaming. $20 bomb. Thank you so much. Wow.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
I'll read it. I feel like Nathan Lukes makes an appearance this year in Sticks. Thoughts? He's in the 40 man right now. Thanks again. I'm throwing up 2 of these for you for the 20 bomb. Peter, I'll let you answer the question on Nathan Lukes. We can discuss Nathan Lukes a little bit. I know we've had a few people in chat.
I think now that Brandon Belt is here, Nathan Lukes doesn't really get a shot. I'm not saying Brandon Belt's going to play in the outfield, but if the Jays' fourth outfielder is probably going to be a right-handed hitter now. Nathan Lukes maybe a couple months ago would have gotten a shot if the Jays didn't get Dalton Varsho, but he's a career minor leaguer, so I don't know how high I am on Nathan Lukes, but I don't know. I don't think he gets a chance in 2023. Too many options now.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Some people are saying he holds on to the last bench spot. I came late. Thank you for tuning in, showing support. Very generous of you. Thank you.
You can watch it. You can watch it back if you.
Yeah, once we're done,
please.
you can also watch it back. We have the rewind thing, and Chapman probably gonna be looking for years, definitely. Brandon Powell gonna take more than that, probably 625. No one will go to Vladimir, bro. Soler 2-year at 27 million for 23 and 24. Like that is pricey for Soler, and that also takes up a spot. But you're getting Pablo Lopez, so I'm sure you can make it work out.
Yeah, and if you get Soler in the deal, you could keep Ricky Tiedemann. So that's the good aspect of it as well.
Ryu trade or no? Romano Bass, Swanson, Garcia, Meza, Pop, Simber, Richards, Pearson's White. Too much mid. Need another proven high leverage reliever. I think Romano's very solid. Bass is very solid. Swanson or Garcia are solid. I mean, I kind of like it as a whole. I think our back 3 of Romano, I guess Romano, Swanson, Garcia, Bass. That's a solid 4. The rest,
I think they need one more like high leverage guy that throws gas. That's what they need. Like not a middle relief guy that throws gas. But it remains to be seen.
He's gonna be expensive. Chapman is gonna be very expensive. We'll stay live for a little 5 or 10 more minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. I got some work I gotta do. We'll have a video for you guys tomorrow. Another great one. Oh wait, it's a dual stream. Then definitely. Ryu plus Merrifield plus Belts contracts cover Vladdy's new $40 million a year contract in 2024.
$40 million a year. Wow.
Probably gonna cost something like that. Any final
questions?
Shout out
to all you guys.
Yeah, shout out to all you guys. Support's been generous. Shout out to Facade again. Shout out to Let's Get Gaming. All the super chats, all the likes. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy daily content. We're gonna be streaming tons more. We love doing them. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, shout out to Blue Jays today as well, and Ball Cap Sports. They'll be going live in around 10 minutes time. So once you get off here, make sure to tune into their live stream as well. They do some great work over there, and it's always entertaining to to watch those four go at it. It's awesome.
It is 3.
Well, ball cap's a 2-man
Is it?
thing, isn't it?
I think it's a 1. I think it's 1. Either way.
I'm thinking of the walk off. I'm thinking of the walk off podcast. Yeah.
Duvall will end up with J. I would love Duvall. And let's actually look at that before we have around 5 more minutes. So let's look at that before we I had this StatCast already up for you guys. So this is the exit. This is his in 2022 Adam Duvall. Would you guys rather Adam Duvall or Cutchin? And I'm going to ask you guys that now. Let me know what your thoughts are. Type McCutchen if you would rather McCutchen. Type Duvall if you'd rather Duvall. And
could Nick grow a beard to team up with Peter? I don't know.
Trying. It's not working.
Give him some of mine, I guess. I'm about to trim it soon. It's I'm not gonna shave it off, but it's getting a little long there. So,
would you rather McCutchen or Duvall? Type in the chat what you think. I'll show you guys Duvall's. His baseball references here. You can see his stats down here in 2022. Only hit .213. Lots of max. Nick and Peter do the new rules. Some night. Kutch, but either would be great. Thanks, guys. Duvall, McCutchen, Duvall. You can look at his 2021. Look at that. He had a great 2021.
He's a good player.
Very good player. Duvall, but not so much.
He's a good player, and he won a World Series, didn't he?
With the Braves.
With the Braves, yeah.
He was a great choice, enough hair for both of them.
He did.
Wonder why the Jays never signed Cueto for $8.5 million 1 year. Maybe he didn't want to come to the Jays. I'm sure we had interest, and it was reported we have interest in him. Duvall, but not by much. Duvall. Okay, well, let's look up McCutchen's thing before we wrap up. And because a lot of you guys are saying Duvall. So this was McCutchen in 2020.
He did win a World Series. He did. 2021.
Yeah, with the
Braves.
The Braves. This was McCutchen's 2022 baseball savant. Yeah, he hit .237 with a 700 OPS on the year. Not too bad. 92. Still 90th percentile sprint speed is pretty impressive for
Duvall's a year younger, Will. So
they're both pretty seasoned.
They're both. Yeah, seasoned. That's the right word to use. That's the right word.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. A lot of you guys said Duvall. Who's better at smashing lefties?
Who's better
Duvall,
at smashing lefties?
I think they're both pretty good.
I'd say I'd go with McCutchen. I think Duvall's really good against righties, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm still salty, but Heaney, I think his name was. Yeah, we were supposed to get Heaney. Never happened. There's a few players supposed to get. Bellinger, too. 45 days till spring training. Let's go. All right, we'll wrap it up there. It's been great. Thank you for all the donations and all the likes.
Yeah,
Let's Get Gaming. Thanks again. We're going to be going live again this week. If everything goes to plan, we'll go live again later this week. We won't be live tomorrow. I got a basketball game. Got some other stuff on the go. But we'll be live later this week for sure. Daily videos, though. We will have a video tomorrow. Videos every day. And thank you guys again. Thanks to Facade. Thanks to everyone for showing support. And you all have a wonderful evening. Facade, you too.
You too, Facade.
Hopefully
too.
Everything continues to go well for you. And good luck, guys. Thank you. Owen, I would. Hopefully everyone in chat has a great night. Listen to you guys every day. Thank you. Let's get on my way to work. Love to hear that.
That's awesome.
We got a video for you tomorrow too. And I guess we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. And have a good inning. Props to you boys for the consistency. Thank you, Colton. And it's not stopping now. It's always gonna keep going. Check guys, like your live stream. Thank you. Cheers, boys. Enjoy your night. Thanks for your stream, guys. Y'all are awesome. Much love from Lethbridge, Alberta. Thanks, fellas. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see y'all tomorrow
for
tomorrow's video. We did post a video today as well. If you want to go look at that, discussing the belt signing a bit more with some other stuff. Discuss the